What up there, side friend? This is me, the man, coming at you again for Walker's Music. Yet another word for the day. Monday morning edition, early Monday morning. We want to say we give God all the praise and honor, glory for life, health, and strength. And thank Him for each and every one of you, disciple friends. You know who you are, especially the Bible study there. We all wanted to say that I am redeemed. Thank you. Thank you. I am redeemed. I'm glad I can say that. And I hope that you can say the same thing. We just want to say that we made it. We made it over. We've been through some things on these last 2 weeks, and we thank God that that ship has come in and sailed away. So now we go back to business as usual. We going back doing the same thing. We really and truly been a man never stopped. But I just want to say, people, that Solomon, I want to emphasize something. Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived other than Jesus Christ. And Solomon made some statements that I think that needed to be repeated. Solomon said, and I'm just going to use it in my own little words, if you read the book of Proverbs, Solomon once said it, I think around Proverbs 15, around 22, somewhere along there. He said that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. In other words, when you get a lot of, I would say, get some good advice, sound advice, and you got people that you can go to get counsel and get instruction from, there's safety. Your plans will succeed in that. That's what Solomon said. But fools seek not advice, and therefore their plans go down in the mortar. They sink and they go, you know. I just want to say that, you know, to a lot of people. A lot of times people misunderstand. And, you know, matter of fact, when the Lord have said Himself that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And believe it or not, people, some people will not listen to instruction. They will not listen, and they get mad at you for telling them what is right. So now, I was meant to come back to say this here because of the fact that one of my little choir members today at New Salem came up to me and we was talking. He was telling me about some things that he was having to endure. The young person just getting out of school and everything and trying to do what's right. In other words, trying to live what's right to the best of his ability. Wanting to do what's right. And I could tell it in his voice. And we're talking about people talk about him and make fun of him and everything. And I told him, don't worry about that. I'm not going to even mention his name. I told him, don't worry about it, but join the crowd. Because basically, people is rarely going to, if you are for what's right, people that want to do anything any kind of way and don't have any kind of restraint, they're not going to like you. In other words, that's a saying that said birds of a feather flock together. Now, I know all y'all know what that means. It sounds kind of crazy, but it just means people who have like mind, they stick together. In other words, when you was out there in the world, I know when I was out there in the world, I had certain people that I hung with. Those that were doing the same thing that I was doing, we didn't have no problem getting along. But immediately, when you go against the grain with some people, they immediately will turn on you, especially if it's for doing what's right. And I told my brother, I said, look, regardless to what, Doc, you do what's right. Even if you have to stand by yourself, you still do what's right. And when the smoke clears, you'll still be standing. And I mean that. You cannot, I don't care who it is, I don't care who it is, you do not compromise wrong. You do not compromise when it comes to right and wrong. You don't go to the right or to the left. You go straight down the center. And if people don't like that, well, they just don't like it. Because, see, first of all, you got to stand before God for yourself. God is not going to ask me, the man, nothing about you. He's going to only ask me about myself. And then if I get up there and start talking about, Lord, I would have done so-and-so, if they hadn't said, well, God is not going to ask me about they. He's going to ask me about me. So when you start compromising with people that don't want to hear the truth, and you let them frustrate you because of what you trying to tell the truth for what's right. I'm not saying that doing stuff just to make yourself look good. But Middleman got enough to give an account of it. And I don't want to keep adding stuff on to it. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, when people don't understand, just like I told my brother, I told him up there, and I hope that he listened. And I think he did, because counsel, good counsel, is all right. But you better watch out for that bad counsel. When people want to tell you, when people want to please and appease and put whipped cream on stuff when you know that's not right. In other words, the wages of sin is death. God said that. So now, if I have to repeat that, I'm only repeating what God said. So if you get mad at me for telling the truth, well, you mad at God. You ain't mad at me because God is the one that said the wages of sin is death. So if you want to die, keep sinning. If you want to die, keep sinning. But if you are redeemed, and if you say that you are a Christian, you ought to show some sign. You are not going to go along, and I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You're not going to go along. Now you may not see right for a period of time. You may not can see it. But once you see what is right, and if you got in the right in you, you'll bring yourself off your butt, off your shoulder, and go and get with the program. It's just Middleman. I just cut it straight from the hip. But as far as people, I mean, I tell the Bible study. They are my witness. I tell them, if people don't like me, get in line. Because you're never going to like me. You think I'm going to go along with your mess. Nope. You're not going to like me, man. So in other words, you might as well find you another friend now. That being said, this is Middleman saying whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, get out of it. I tell you that. I tell you that, and I try to live by it myself. So if God is not in it, get your behind out of it if you know what's good for you. This is Middleman saying peace. Until the next Bible study, goodbye.